Welcome to qnawire.
So the three basic types of unit cells are the simple cubic cell, the body-centered cubic cell, and the face-centered cubic cell. So let's look at the density of these three different unit cells. So in the simple cubic cell, we have spheres in each of the corners, right? So these are going to be the atoms that it'll share with its neighbors, right? So it only touches neighboring cells at the corners. For a body-centered cubic cell, it has, right, all those spheres at each of the corners, but then it has two more that it will share with its neighbor. It has another layer of spheres that will fit in between the two layers. So these four right at the top are going to be one layer. And then these four at the bottom plane are going to be your second layer. So it has two more spheres that will fill in the gap between those two layers. One towards right this face, and then one towards that face. So it packs two more spheres. So since it packs more in a unit cell, it's going to be more dense than the simple cubic. Last, we have the face-centered cubic cell. So it again has those spheres at each corner. It also has those two spheres between the layers that the body-centered cubic cell does, and also all of the faces of the cube. So it has, right, the sphere in this face, the front face and the back face. Then it also has spheres on the top face, the two side faces, and the bottom face. So it has 8 in the corners and 6 on the faces. So this has more spheres closely packed, right? So this is going to be the closest packed. So we know that the spheres on the corners are equivalent to 1/8 of an atom, right? Because if you line this cube up with all the other cubes, it's going to be equivalent to 1/8 of an atom. So since the simple cubic cell has 8 spheres, 8 times 1/8 means that the simple cubic cell has one atom in one unit cell. So the body-centered cubic, it also has one atom, right, if we add together the spheres. But then these two on the faces, the face is going to be in contact with one other face. So a sphere on a face is going to be equivalent to half of an atom. So half of the atom is in one cube side of the cube, and one half is in another cube, right? Because it's two cubes close together. So since we have two, right, two halves make a whole. So the body-centered cubic is going to be equivalent to 2 atoms in one unit cell. Then if we look at the face-centered cubic, right, it has 1 atom from the 8 corners. Then we have 6 faces. 6 times a half is 3. So 1 atom from the corners, 3 atoms from the faces. The face-centered cubic is going to have 4 atoms in one unit cell. So since the face-centered cubic has the most atoms per unit cell, this structure is going to be the most dense, right? We have the most amount of atoms packed into one cell. Then on the flip side, right, the simple cubic centered is going to be the least dense, right? Because it only has 1 atom. It has the least amount of atoms in one unit cell. So it's going to be the least dense.